All right, he is pulling in the parking lot, so it'll be a couple minutes here.
We should have center line lights too, if we're gonna get the lines.
Put with some rabbits in theirs.
Oh, I love those in Alexandria. Oh. My heat alarm is gonna be going off at my house.
What is did anybody ever get a quote on what LED light system is?
I didn't.
I'm just curious what they cost.
Sure. Is there a price for it? Can we use the 30,000 for that? That's operation.
Yeah. I'm not,
Hey,
I don't
can
know
you
off the top of my
run
head
up to my
what
squad
the estimate would be.
I'm just curious.
The lights and sirens are gonna turn on there in a second. So there's like a little
Imagine
black box
shine
that
a
has a
little
phone
brighter.
cable going into it.
Yeah, well, there's not as harsh on your eyes.
Sure.
I mean,
Inside
you
the
can see
car.
it a long ways away.
Okay,
Yeah, they're pretty slick.
yeah.
Because I got a text message.
Well, Jeff,
I need to have a talk with my secretary.
Okay, so if you're.
Do you want this spot?
Sitting up for it, there's
You
like a
can
little
have it.
black
I'll
box
sit
that
here.
has like a couple red buttons on it that has like a phone cable on it.
Phil's not coming, so.
Phil's online.
Oh, he's on.
Phil and John are
Yeah,
both
just
on.
unplug that phone cable. There's a little tab on the bottom. All right, thanks, bye. Okay. Bye. I'll figure it out when I get home, so. Bye.
Okay, John and Phil, everybody is here, so we will begin. Tom?
All right, let's call this meeting to order. Let me pull up the agenda here. So consent agenda, the minutes, we don't have to do that, right? I can never remember how to do this.
We do need to have a
Oh,
motion. Yes.
motion to approve the last meeting's minutes, right? Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay.
Consent agenda, yep.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Phil, seconded by Harlan. All in favor?
Maybe we have to take a voice vote, don't we? No?
Since we got the
Oh,
two.
sure, yep. Unless it's unanimous, right?
Yeah. So we have to do roll call? Is that how that works?
If there's anybody opposed.
Is there anyone opposed to approving the consent agenda?
Nope.
All right, that passed unanimously.
Okay.
All right,
Got it.
for old, or no, you want me to jump down to?
Yeah, why don't we do that
All right,
first?
we're gonna jump down to old business to Morgan's Motor Works. And we have a guest in the
And I
audience.
believe that was on your last meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I did contact the FAA, and on the last sheet of the agenda there, it's pretty much lays it out. The FAA strongly discourages this type of an event. They say our grant assurances, they state that we are not to utilize the airport for non-airport use. They said it may jeopardize our airport eligibility for grant funding. But then in the end, he said, yes, they have done it. But then they also noted that the permitting process is very cumbersome, and there needs to be an airspace study completed.
What's the airspace?
What's the airspace study?
And how long does that take?
And how long does it take?
And it doesn't cost anything.
Chuck, can you help us out there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of exactly airspace study.
I guess-
I'd have to look into what kind of study they would possibly want for that.
Wonder if they want a plane count. If that's-
That's possible. Do you know anything about if you've gone through this process before?
No, haven't done it. This part of it, yeah. So, it'd be interesting to hear what they'd like to know,
Yeah.
or what that study consists of. Were you here on the last meeting? You know, no? Do you know what we're trying to do out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does somewhere in Minnesota on the airport do it already? that we could use for a base model?
Jamestown, North Dakota does. And I don't know if that's the same region for the FAA.
The Great Lakes region, I don't know who are, if we have different.
But I know they do it down in Texas all the way up to St. Louis, and then there's nothing north of St. Louis that you can find where they're able to host it for some reason.
Sure.
So,
It's Jamestown, North Dakota, you said?
yep.
Obviously, it's something that isn't gonna happen this year. I guess if you want us or the,
I think it'd be cool. The more things you get to the airport that aren't necessarily pilot related for everybody else to use. I don't know.
Like they do a Wings and Wheels out in Wisconsin, and that's super popular, but it's a car show. You could go to any car show around here, but that is super popular to get the planes next to the, it creates a lot of photo opportunities. This, you could do the same thing, but you're adding a different element that they don't get to experience anywhere else of going down the strip and back. So some people might even just do it to cruise the strip, basically. It doesn't have to be a time.
Oh, I think I'll bring my car.
So,
I'd bring the squad car.
I do it every night at work.
Uh,
The lights are blinking.
No, thinking it's worth considering, getting more information on, see what kind of a study it is, what the cost is, how long it takes, what's involved.
I gotta call this, maybe Chuck knows who this lady is. What's that guy's name from Canby? The Airbus guy. Matt.
can we find Matt's last name, though?
Ann Cohen? Does that name sound familiar to you?
What was the name?
Ann Cohen? Koehn? I'm supposed to give her a call for the air show waiver, so maybe I'll ask her what an airspace study is.
Yeah.
'Cause I think even on our air show waiver, we have to have an airspace study.
Yeah, so if we come to airspace study for the air show, why can't we just
Right.
have the same thing?
yeah, if that's what it is.
I will give her a call tomorrow, and then how if I just email you, or does that work?
Yeah, that'd be just fine. Absolutely.
So yeah, because
See what FAA or Mendoza?
yep, FAA, and she's out of Wisconsin because she has a 920 area code. Because I want to say with our waiver we have to have an airspace study, which would be interesting to know what it is.
We'll keep that rolling then for August.
Well, I guess that's
But
something.
one of the biggest concerns would have to be if this is going to jeopardize airport eligibility for funding going forward. That's a pretty big consideration there.
Yeah, so that we don't,
We could contact Jamestown and find out
because Jamestown.
what the risk or how they determine the risk is worth it.
Right.
Yeah, do you know anybody up there, Mike?
I have a contact that started the whole thing. He kind of passed it off to somebody else, but he sent me the contract that they had with the city and everything like that, all laid out basically as a template, so to speak,
Sure.
for Jamestown. I don't know if that would transfer over to Minnesota or not, but I could definitely get it and sent over.
That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting what their office is for the FAA. Who do we talk to run for the FAA? Is it like the Great Lakes District or is it the Minneapolis area?
It's the Minneapolis area.
So that'd probably be different.
That's different.
We have ran into stuff like that in the past. You get different interpretations
Yep.
of what is allowed and what's not allowed depending on who you talk to and
Right.
what
Wonder if we
their
can just-
stance is.
Email this lady tomorrow, Katie Hemmer, who's the airport manager in Jamestown.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some research to do into it for sure.
Yeah, because I'm with Phil. I mean, I don't want to lose. I mean, a lot of our projects is done off of the grants, and
Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose your $150,000 a year, so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to either.
we'd have to cut an engineering service
Just for the year.
just for the
Yeah.
all that project. We wouldn't get our LED lights.
We could certainly get what the requirements of the airspace study. We could talk to that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it make you go too overboard for what the study would be.
I mean, I could see them needing an airplane count or a day, you know, a count on traffic. Is there a way to pull that from fuel? You know, how much fuel do we sell on the weekends?
Yeah, it depends on the weekend. You know, it can go anywhere from almost nothing up to a couple thousand gallons.
Yeah, and then you got a couple of these guys who come with their trucks and fill up and go to their grass strips.
Could you do the wheel thing, where they drive over it and it clicks it for the counts? And
No.
You see across that, no?
Because that's no.
No?
You know, yeah, usually most of them,
Because
that's
that
the
would
reason
suck
why they
into a
have the
problem.
logbook there, so you can see how many people have been in the airport.
Because I remember when they were doing the control tower study in St. Cloud, they actually had, when I was in part of the Aviation Explorer post, they had us come out there with St. Cloud State students and sit in the fire hall and literally
Watch.
count, like, oh, that's a Dutch just landing. And that's how they did their study. You know, and that's pretty easy to do. But I mean, I can't find anything on the FAA website with exactly what a study is.
Well, it looks like we'll keep working on it. I don't know if you're gonna
Sure.
add anything more.
No?
Okay.
Let me know what you find out, and then if I find that contract, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, or who they talk to on their side, on the FISDOM side.
Bill's got all of it.
I'm sure the North Dakota FISDOM is a little different, but
Right. Okay.
just kind of curious too. what they say.
Need me for anything else?
Unless you have any other questions?
Nope, I don't.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Can I use some business cards? I only got 2 of them.
Sure.
I should have restocked it. Who wants them?
I got yours yet from last time.
Yep, I remember.
Sure, Ron's got one. Yep.
Okay.
Ron wasn't here.
Well,
I had to take notes.
All right, thanks. Yep.
thank you guys.
Mhm.
you.
All right, moving on to new business, or back to new business. The QT pod.
Okay, you have a letter that's enclosed in the agenda there that basically states we no longer have support as of June 30th for the QT pod out there. We do got the cost for replacing it. Chuck, did you come up with any?
We have reached out to our MnDOT several times to get this funded. They haven't responded yet. I think from what I heard today, they're getting several of these requests.
Oh.
So I think from what I understand, they're sort of working to come up with how they're going to handle them, but there should be money available.
Well, even, you wonder if we could use that COVID money, or that CARES money.
Well, that's what I was wondering as well.
Because how much is this system? Did we ever get a quote?
$14,295.
Is that with the discount?
Now, is there more than one company?
I guess we could go to a different company and,
I'm just curious of
Oh, yeah.
the price comparison between different brands and different.
sure. Yep.
There's got to be more than one of them out there.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah. This is not the original company that we were working with. So,
Because you replaced it once.
we did.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, for future planning of the airport, because 20 years down the road, 10 years down the road, they're looking at expanding runway, right? Is that, if I can remember what our plan is?
Yeah, there's a runway extension.
With this fuel pump, is this, let's say we ever decide to add a jet fuel tank, are we gonna have to get a second credit card machine for that tank? Or is this something where we could run 2 tanks off of the same credit card system? I mean, is it worth
This
If we're
unit,
gonna get
I
it-
would assume, is just for a single unit.
just the same? I mean, is that something to look at for future, so we're not, in 10 years, if this, thing is still working and there's still support, we're not,
Remember, this is electronics. It isn't, if it makes it 10 years, we're gonna be lucky.
because how old is this one out there right now?
I believe it's 6 or 7.
Okay, never mind then.
But I would surely think that we should be able to get some kind of state participation.
It says in this document it can operate up to 8 pumps.
Yep, right there it is.
You got good eyes.
Easy to upgrade, cost
Yes.
effective.
Yeah.
answers your question.
Okay. Now if they could just pay their nightly hangar rental fee through that thing, and it gives them a code for the hangar.
Yeah.
Well, reduce a whole lot.
So the question now is if there's something else available that, to take a look and do some price checking.
Price checking comparison, there's gotta be other brands.
Right.
Well, we will keep looking for funding and get a second quote from a different vendor.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
when you're out flying and stuff, and you see one of them pumps, can you just take a picture of it and grab the brand name or something?
Yep.
See what other place they're using?
Yeah, email it to me or text it anyway, and I will give them a call.
Wasn't there, I think last time there was a quote, you got a quote from somebody else, but I can't remember the name.
I think it was Quality Flow or some, yeah, this is not the original brand that we were with.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Hangar rental rates.
Okay, I guess I brought this on last year. We think we went through all the rental rates and set them. However, we just had a call from a pilot from Winstead. He's looking for possibly a hangar for about 10 months, maybe a little bit longer. And according to this, we would charge him $250 a month, and he thought that was pretty steep. And I said, well, I can take it back and review it.
I see for 10 months, $250
Mhm.
monthly rate.
Yeah.
I see what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Winstead's closed, so he's stuck. He's got to go somewhere.
That's why he called. Yep, he's looking for a temporary spot.
How many people are on the waiting list right now for the new hangars?
I think we got 5. So they'll be full fairly fast.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident that once we open the doors, it's gonna,
How many people from the old hangars are
We're
going to move
learning
to?
more today about what $25 billion in economic relief will mean for airlines like Sun Country.
So
Okay.
basically, when the new one's open, there's no openings.
we'll have a couple, there will be 2 left, I believe. Plus if we keep the one for
Right.
the monthly and weekly.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't he just do a 12-month lease on one of those then?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess our standard is a minimum of 2 years. If we want to change that, we sure can.
Oh, okay.
I see.
I didn't know.
Otherwise, yeah, I agree with John on that one. When are these new ones supposed to be open?
It sounds like July 1st, correct?
And when does he need, well, he probably needs to be up here now, right? Because Winstead's already closed.
That's not his 182 out there, is it?
No.
Is this the second summer Winstead is closed?
I don't think so.
No,
I think
it
it's
sounded like they were just going to close.
It's just closing, yep.
Yeah.
Well, what about Matt's hangar?
Possible.
Because if John gets into his,
Right.
then maybe Matt wants a sublease. I mean, my name's on there, but,
Yeah,
you know, with me just finally coming back to work, who knows when I'm gonna have the funds?
sure.
And that actually might work out better. I mean, if I sublease it to him for 10 months, that gives me, at least the hangar's getting paid for, and then
Mhm.
that gives me more time to,
We're allowed to sublease? Do we allow those?
With the board's approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, there's options.
There are
Yeah.
options.
What do we want to go down to a standard, like a single year contract instead of the 2 years? So that way this gentleman, if he could take it for a whole year, it would be at,
I guess I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if he takes it for a whole year,
Mhm.
and we have 2 empty ones after the wait list is full,
you know,
or
maybe he'd
cleared out,
rather do that, just take it for a whole year and.
you know, are we gonna, why lose that potential business for that year
Right.
Right.
because of,
Especially if there's a waiting list. It's not like we're,
Well, once these hangars are built, you know, there won't be a waiting list, at least for a little while.
right.
Does that sound logical? Instead of the 2-year contract, go to 1 year's? That's it.
I think it does.
I think it does too.
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable approach. I think that's a good idea.
Yep. We got room.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess I'd rather, if we can put someone in there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you could just fuel sales too.
Yep.
Right.
Someone make a motion then?
Make a motion to
Change
allow
it to
1 year.
Or allow 1 year leases.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to allow a 1 year lease.
I'll second it.
I second. That was John.
Okay. Anyone opposed to that? Everyone?
Nope.
All right, that passed unanimously.
Yep.
Alrighty. This is kind of confusing with the phone thing.
Yeah.
Hangar lease and rent survey results.
This is more just informational. This was a survey that was done by, I believe it was. So, I don't know, whenever I get a survey like this, I find it interesting and I try to share it. I don't know if anybody's got any comments on it or. But according to this, we are right in line with our rental rates.
Sock Center is 120.
Doesn't sound right. Because that sheriff buddy of yours, he has his bonanza over there.
But he's looking at moving there
Oh, is he?
because his house is going to be lost with the highway.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I talked to him at the last fly-in. I'm like, why are you here?
Do we need to do anything?
No, there's no, that was just informational.
All right. So to old business, Airport T hangar update.
Yeah, just to give the quick update, they continue to work on the building out there. The site's been all graded and they'll be putting the class 5 in this week, the gravel. They were gonna wait till the building's up to do the paving and stuff, but, last I checked the building, their schedule was, I think, out about 4 weeks or so. They thought they'd be pretty close. So,
Mhm.
so they're moving right along.
Yeah, looks nice to have another structure out there.
Another windbreak.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Airport fly-in update. The only update I really have is that the Friends of the Airport group is hoping to meet this week. To kind of talk about that. I think everyone is kind of in consensus that, we've already paid the deposits down for the acts, that we're gonna kind of ride it out and see how it goes. I know Canby just canceled theirs. He said his pilots were very decent to work with, so hopefully, the Friends of the Airport meet this week and can kind of come up with that. Because depending on what happens with the chamber, I mean, this might be the only big thing that happens.
I was just thinking that too. They meet tomorrow to decide what to do, and people will be looking for things to do maybe, and
Which, if worst case scenario, they cancel Town and Country Days, I mean, this could be, it could draw a big crowd.
yeah,
So I think it's something that we should all be prepared for.
not too big a crowd.
Not too big a crowd. Nothing more than 1,900.
I just got a text this morning. Litchfield has canceled the watercade,
Yep.
fireworks, parade, and everything in the middle of July.
That's in July. Yep.
So if we can make it go, it's going to make it that much bigger for our show.
So hopefully we hear from the Friends of the Airport at the end of the week. And we already did that. Fuel prices, fuel usage, that's just information.
That's informational also. 17
Okay.
are, it's just informational on the airport fuel usage. I just thought it's nice information for members to have.
Any idea why in
That's good
2018,
information.
what happened with that?
It's a good question.
That was expensive.
Yeah, price went up a little bit.
Because I see it's what, $3.26 right now a gallon?
Correct. Yes.
Get another tank out there and store it in the bench.
Yeah. What? Because the airport's been busy lately. I mean, me being outside working on landscaping projects, I mean, there's planes
Yep.
nonstop, it seems like. So, all right, and then adjourn. And we don't have to,
Anything else, Phil or John?
No, I don't have anything else. Good meeting. Nope.
No.
Not for me either.
all righty,
All right, thank you.
thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep.
Hey, Ron, do you know what they're planting this year?
Have we figured that out yet?
What kind of crop they are putting there?
He's got corn, but then, we measured it